The Renault Grand Scenic may be descended from the car that pretty much established the compact MPV sector, that being the original Megane Scenic, but that historical significance won't win the car any favour whatsoever with the modern family car buyer. These days there are dozens of compact seven-seaters to choose from, cars like the Citroën Grand C4 Picasso and the Ford S-Max, so the Grand Scenic has to compete on merit. Its flowing lines and SUV-inspired styling certainly give it plenty of curbside appeal, but can it compete in other areas? With any MPV, the battle for buyers' affections will be won and lost here inside the cabin. A car like this needs to make family life as easy as possible, and that's achieved with good practicality and ergonomics. Now let's talk about the latter first. You've got lots of adjustment in your driving position and a great view of the road ahead, while the huge expanses of glass surrounding you also give the cabin a really nice, airy feel. High-spec versions get this 8.7-inch portrait touchscreen system, which, if we're honest, could be easier to use. Some of the menus are both convoluted and hard to find, and the screen can be a bit slow to respond. Practicality is brilliant for 5 people. There's lots of space in the rear seats, along with 3 ISOFIX child seat mounting points, and on most versions you have loads of storage spaces and aviation-style picnic tables. You also have a massive boot that will easily swallow a pushchair, these buttons which drop all the back seats in a heartbeat, and you can even stash your load cover underneath the floor. Disappointingly though, you'll really struggle when you try to seat 7. Nobody is going to fit in the third row unless those in the middle donate a bit of space by sliding their seats forward, and that leaves everyone too short of space to travel comfortably. The Grand Scenic isn't particularly conducive to easy family life once you hit the road either. The ride has a distinctly jittery feel for a car that is designed to ferry families, and that harshness might well have the kids complaining, and that is the last thing you want. Granted, that firm suspension does mean that the Grand Scenic feels a little bit pointier than your average MPV when you get to a set of bends. However, the handling is far from what you'd call electrifying due to steering that feels a bit remote and front tyres that tend to run wide earlier than they do with most rivals. Besides, in a car like this, we would take comfort over handling any day of the week. That said, things stay nice and quiet at most speeds because you're really well isolated from exterior noises. The 128 brake horsepower 1.6 litre diesel engine in this car also stays nice and quiet, provided you don't flog it, which you won't often have to because there's plenty of muscle available from around about 1800 RPM.